Welcome, in front of me is a XIAOMI Mi Mix 2S, and today I'll show you how to go through the setup process of this phone. So when you boot it up for the first time, you should be presented with this screen right over here. And to get started, simply tap on the arrow right over here and select your desired language. Next page, choose your region. For me it's correct, so I'm just gonna stick with it, but same way as before, find it and select your correct language, or the region I mean. From there, terms of service, so obviously we need to agree to them right here. You can also tap on the user agreement and privacy policy to be aware of what you're exactly agreeing to, if that is something that you want to know. But honestly, I won't bother reading it, so just select it and go further. And here it's going to start scanning for the SIM card. If it doesn't detect anything, it will give you this message right over here, and also you can just simply skip it by tapping on an arrow. Now, you can insert the SIM card right now also if you want to, or you can insert that SIM card later on after the setup is complete, or at any given moment throughout the setup, and it really won't change much. The moment you insert it, if you have some kind of PIN, it will pop it up on the screen for you to confirm it, and from there it will just work as it should. The next page, Wi-Fi connection. Obviously here you can connect to Wi-Fi if you have one near you that you know the password to. You can also skip it if you don't want to. There is one possibility: if the device is FRP locked, you might not be able to skip it, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna skip it. Now by skipping it, I do lose the ability to connect to Google account throughout the setup. So to do that later on, I would need to first connect to Wi-Fi in the settings, and then also in the settings find the accounts too, if I wanted to add an account. Next page, we have Google services, so we have things like location, scanning, and send user and diagnostic data. You can read exactly what these do by tapping on an arrow, expanding it, and reading basically the entire instruction, or however you want to call it, what this is all about. And at the end of the day, if you don't want it, you can simply disable them and then tap more and accept at the bottom. Next page, we can protect our device. So we have two different ways of doing so, either through a fingerprint or screen lock. Now if you want to go with the fingerprint, you will still be required to set up a screen lock. Now I'm just going to go with only the screen lock. So once you tap on it, it gives you the option for PIN, pattern, or password. So you choose one of those. I'm going to go to pattern. And once you choose one, it gives you the message to remember your password. Because it's apparently the first time we have been introduced to the concept of passwords, so yeah. So I'm gonna redraw it, and there we go. Now it's all set. Here we have some additional settings, as XIAOMI would call it. So I have location, which we already, or at least I disabled it in the Google services page. So you can do that again here. User experience programs, so I don't want that, to be honest. Now, while I disable those, pay attention that I already disabled two, and there is nothing that is happening. It just allows me to turn it off, but there is one intrusive option here, which I totally despise, and it shouldn't even exist here, which is the, is it somewhere? Yep, there it is at the bottom. Personalized ads. Now, this is the absolute trashiest thing here, and just pay attention that I can disable everything here and it doesn't give me any kind of pop-up. But if I want to disable the only thing that will basically spy on me, it brings up, are you sure you want to disable this? Now also, usually turn off would be the blue text, but hey, they switched it up just to screw with you. So there we go, that's how you turn it off. Now, if you're unaware of what this does, it's basically scanning on what you're looking on your device for. So anything that you search for, I don't know, maybe you're interested in cat food. Guess what ads you're gonna be getting? Cat food. So I personally despise this option, and I would recommend you to turn it off. It is just a little bit too intrusive. And rest of them you can read exactly what they do, and if you want them, then keep them on. If you don't, then disable them. Now once you have selected or deselected the things that you want, you can tap on the arrow right here to progress further and select which launcher you want. Now the only difference between them is that the classic one is similar to how an Apple device looks like, with all the apps on the home screen, while the app drawer is more typical of the Android devices, with basically just limited amount of apps on your home screen and then rest being hidden in the app drawer. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And from here, next thing we have is a theme. There's not much difference again between those. You can tap on an image to enlarge it and see the difference between those, but just a quick one. The icon shapes are different. As you can see, these ones are kind of like squarish with rounded corners. Well, here we have all kinds of different shapes, and the wallpaper. But honestly, both of them can be changed later on, so you don't really need to pay much attention to it. If that is something that you none of those really speak to you, then don't worry, you can download some kind of icon packs from the Play Store and apply those instead of the ones that come preloaded with the device. So at the end of the day, select whichever one you prefer more at this moment and let's finish up the setup. Setup complete, so let's tap on the arrow right here and we'll start loading apps, and once it's finished we should be presented with the home screen, and there it is. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.